how many moles are in 485.42 grams of silver by solving molar conversions. These are the steps that we're going to follow. First, we're going to identify the relationship, the conversion relationship. Then we're going to take the given quantity and then set it up. Then we're going to set up the conversion fraction, and then we're going to multiply and then solve. So the first step, identifying the conversion relationship. What units are we starting with? What units do we want to end up with? That's what we're asking ourselves. So we know we're starting with grams, 485.42 grams of silver. I know I want to convert from grams to moles because it's asking how many moles. We're looking for moles. We're given grams. We want to convert from grams to moles. So we need to know how many grams are in 1 mole of silver. Well, we can find that from the periodic table. And finding silver Ag, we see that 1 mole of silver contains 107.87 grams. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down. 1 mole of silver, and the symbol for silver is Ag. It's going to be 107.87 grams. And I'm going to box that because that's very important. That is our first step, identifying the conversion relationship. After we do that, we want to set up the problem. To set it up, we need to take the given quantity, make it a fraction by putting it over 1. So if I'm given 485.42 grams, I'm going to take the given quantity, 0.42 grams, over 1, just to make it a fraction. That makes the problem easier to work out. It gives us a numerator and a denominator, and that's very important because the next step is going to be determined by the fact that this gram is up top in the numerator. Speaking of the next step is to set up the conversion fraction using that conversion relationship. So here's what that means. I'm going to set up a fraction that's going to let me convert times. All right, now I'm going to set up a fraction that's going to let me convert between grams and moles, and I'm going to use my conversion relationship. So I see that I have grams of silver. Let me put the element there. I have grams of silver given, and I have a choice of what I can put either on top or on the bottom. I have 1 mole of silver here, and I have 107.87 grams of silver here. One goes on top, one goes on the bottom. What goes where? Well, I have grams up top over here, and therefore, if I want grams to cancel, I need to put grams on the bottom down here. So I am going to take this 107.87 grams and put it on the bottom. 107.87 grams of silver. And then that leaves me with 1 mole of silver on top. So 1 mole of silver on top. And now that I have grams on top and grams on the bottom, grams cancels, the unit cancels, and that's what we want because we want grams to cancel so that we can convert from grams to moles. Now the next step is to simply multiply our 2 fractions together. So I'm going to do that by multiplying across the top, 485.42. The grams canceled out, so I don't write it, times 1 mole, and then on the bottom, 1 times 107.87. And the grams cancel, so I don't put that. So I multiply across the top and multiply across the bottom. And now I'm going to continue working out the problem and simplifying it. So 485.42 times 1 mole of silver on top, that's going to equal 485.42 0.42 moles of silver. Any number times 1 is going to be itself. And then we're also adding the units. And then down here, 1 times 107.87, that equals 107.87. And the last step is to solve. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my calculator and put in 485.42 divided by 107.87, and that's going to give me 4.5 moles. 4.5 moles of silver. And that is our final answer. So, to recap, how many moles are in 485.42 grams of silver? First thing I did was identify the relationship. 1 mole of silver equals 107.87 grams. That was my first step. Second step, set up the conversion, given quantity over 1. Third step, set up the conversion fraction. Take my grams, put it on the bottom so that it cancels. Put my 1 mole on top. And then the fourth step is just to multiply across. That times that gave me that. This times this gave me this. And then finally, I went ahead and solved it out. And I got 4.5 moles as my answer.